if God really loves us, why do bad things happen? It's a very commonly asked question, and it's a very good question. Let's be real here. It's a really good question, actually. If God's so loving, why does he let bad things happen? I hope I got an answer for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Hope by the end of this video you have an answer. Let's dive right into it, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a good question, and I've thought about it many times. I feel like everybody's thought about it if they've heard about God and his love. Okay, if he loves us, then why does he let bad things happen? And it's, it can be confusing. But I believe that I have a decent answer. I'm not going to say the answer, but it's an answer that I think is true. It doesn't clear up everything. I will say that. There's a lot of things that it doesn't clear up, because to be honest, I don't think we can clear everything up with it. We're not God. I don't know everything. We don't know everything, which is okay. I'm going to use a little bit of scripture because, well, that's where we get everything from. So we'll start in Genesis. Okay. So when God created the earth, the two humans, Adam and Eve, Adam came first, where God created them. They were the last things that he created. He created the waters, the earth, the animals, and everything. And then he created Adam. And then he created Eve to be a companion to Adam. They needed each other, so he created man and woman. And when God did this, everything in the world was perfect. Everything. God said it was good, his words. After he created everything was perfect, and there was no sin, there was no evil, there was no death, there was no pain, there was no sickness, there was nothing bad in the world. Now, what happened is God also gave us free will. He gave the humans, Adam and Eve, free will, because what's the purpose of making somebody or something if it doesn't have free will and that it has to just run on a track? There's no purpose in that. There's just no sense in that. So he gave us free will. With free will comes the ability to choose and make our own decisions, of course. So basically, there was a serpent in the Garden of Eden, which is the place that God created for Adam and Eve to stay. There's a serpent who we think is probably Satan. It actually, I don't think it ever says specifically, but it's some evil being, probably Satan. And he tempted them. Basically, God gave Adam and Eve all the fruit and food in the garden, except for one tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He said, don't eat from that tree. Just don't. It's the only rule he gave them. Don't eat from that tree. Well, the serpent, Satan, comes up and is basically like, did God actually say that? Did he actually tell y'all not to eat from that tree? Eve said, it was Eve he was talking to at first. She said, yeah, he told us we could eat anywhere except for that tree. And he said you would die. God's told them, don't eat that tree lest you die, nor touch it. So the serpent, he then said, nah, listen, okay, listen to me. You're not actually going to die. Okay, for God knows, he knows that if you eat from this tree, your eyes are going to be opened up and you will be like God, knowing good and knowing evil. So Eve took the bait, and basically she took the fruit, took a bite of it, and then gave it to Adam. And then Adam was like, okay, took a bite too. So when that happened, we as human beings thought that we knew better than God. God told us not to do it. We thought we were deceived by somebody, and they thought, hey, yeah, I want to be like God. I think I know better than God, so I'm going to do this. Just because God said not to, whatever, man. I'm going to do it. Well, when that happened, that is the fall. That is when everything bad happened. That is when sin entered the world. That is when death, pain, illness, sickness, whatever, entered the world. Everything bad entered the world, and now that's the world we live in now. So when that happened, like I said, all sin entered the world at that point. And God basically was like, okay. God was very present in the world. It said that God literally walked with Adam and Eve in the cool of the evening, I think is how it puts it. So God was literally walking with Adam and Eve. And then when this happened, he said, okay, y'all, I'm going to take a step back, basically is what he's saying. He said, I'm going to take a step back. Y'all think you know how to do it the best, so I'm just going to take a step back. More or less is what he's saying. And when God takes a step back, that's when the sin entered the world, and that is when everything bad started to happen. But just because God took a step back does not mean that he left. So there's a lot of beliefs out there that God is real, but he basically has no part in the world today, which that is not true. He's still here. He's still very active in the world. He's just not like it was when it was perfect. So basically, bad things happen because when we took from the tree, when we ate from the tree, we thought we could do things by ourselves. We pretty much said, God, we can do this ourselves. We don't need you. God said, okay, so that is why sin is here. This is a result of our belief that we are better than God and we know more than God. Obviously, we don't, because now bad things happen. Now, that's just the basic. That's just the basic idea. The answer that I've read and I've seen that a lot of people give is because of that. Sin entered the world, bad things happened because we thought we knew better than God, and it all started at the fall. So it's not that God doesn't love us. It's that we're human beings with free will, and that's what we chose. But I know it's very confusing. It's very hard to grasp. Still so many unanswered questions with that, of course. It's still just take a look at the world. Like, how can you say what you just said, but there's still all this bad stuff that happens in the world, like children dying and just terrible, terrible things. Why does God let that happen? Honestly, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't have an answer for that. Like I said, that's the thing. I'm not going to have an answer. You know, if you think you have an answer, be sure to share it in the comments below, of course. Don't be afraid to do that. I'm more than happy to hear your thoughts on that, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I have an answer for why bad things happens, but I don't have an answer for why. That sounds weird, but basically I'm saying I have an answer for why bad things happen, but at the same time I don't know why bad things happen. Sounds really weird. I know it doesn't really make sense, but I think you understand. I hope you understand what I mean by that. I just mean, basically, I understand why bad things happen. We brought sin into the world. That's why it happened. We did that. God did not create the world like this. So then you could also come to the theory of, well, if God knows everything, then why did God let Adam and Eve sin and bring sin into the world? And it just goes on and on. Heck, I don't have an answer right now. I truly don't. I think a lot of it does come to faith, and for a non-believer or somebody who's very already skeptical, that's not the greatest answer to give, and I'm sorry if that's what you're here for. And I know that it sounds kind of brash to say, well, bad things happen because of us. I don't know. I'm not going to look at somebody whose child just died and said, or somebody whose child just died and they say, why did this happen? Why did God let this happen? I'm going to say, well, you know, it all started with the fall of it. I'm not going to tell them that, man, because that's just not, like, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know why God lets things happen. He's God, though. He's God, and we're not God. We don't know. We don't know everything. We're not made to know everything. We're human beings. We're not the creator. He created everything. There's a lot of questions that we have that I don't know. And again, like I said, it comes back to faith. It's hard to have, but that's the whole purpose of faith. Faith isn't necessarily easy all the times, and this is one of those instances where faith is not easy. I don't know, guys. I just wanted to share that little snippet for you. Haven't made a video on here for a minute, a full-length video, and felt like this maybe could have been summed up in a short, but I really wanted to just talk to you guys today and tell you that. If you have something you'd like to share in the comments, please don't hesitate. Seriously, I want to hear it. I like hearing everything. I like all the comments. I like the comments that disagree with me. You know, there's a lot of those that disagree with what I say, because sometimes they open my eyes. I've had comments before that I've said something and then I've thought, well, crap, maybe I wasn't right about that, you know? So if you don't agree with me, I mean, share that in future videos, this video, whatever. If you have something you want to add it. Like, don't hesitate. This is a discussion, you know? I'll do my best. If you have questions, I'll do my best to answer. Again, though, I don't have every answer. I don't know if you could ever find a human being. I guess Solomon, we'll see that God granted him, he was the wisest person in the world, so maybe he had all the answers. I don't know. But besides Solomon and Jesus, there's no other human, I don't think, that would have all the answers. I don't even know if Solomon had all the answers. He says he's the wisest man in the world, I think, but I don't know if that means all the answers. Anyway, that's getting off topic. That's basically the idea of the video. Now, for the other questions, maybe I'll have an answer someday, maybe I won't. Again, share your comments down below. Let me know, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and you subscribe for more content, because I enjoy making this content. It's just chill environment, you know? I like it. I love you guys. So I hope you have a blessed evening, morning, day, night, wherever you're at in the world. I hope you guys have a blessed one. I hope you got something from the video. I hope. Anyways, take care, you guys. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll see you in the next one.